The docks always sang at night. Not with music, not with voices, but with the kind of low groan that came from old wood remembering storms. Ropes swayed, metal hooks clinked against masts, and somewhere far out in the fog, a buoy bell moaned like a ghost calling home. Ray Dobson leaned against the rail of his trawler, Sea Mercy, a cigarette glowing between his fingers. He wasn't a superstitious man, or so he said. But like most born on the banks, he'd learned one truth early: the sea don't forget. Behind him, the radio crackled with an old voice, the late-night fisherman's channel. "Fog, thick as soup out there tonight. Keep your lights high, boys, and your heads low." Ray chuckled. "Sounds like every Friday," he muttered, flicking his ash overboard. Then, from the mist, came a sound. It wasn't the waves. It wasn't the wind. It was deeper, a hum, like something alive under the hull. It made the boards shiver. The kind of sound that got into your ribs. Ray turned down the radio. The hum grew stronger. Old Joe's story. He thought about old Joe, a man who used to drink coffee and tell wild tales at the dockside bait shack. Joe swore up and down he'd once seen lights on the reef, lanterns swinging where no boat should be. "Ain't no man can fake that sound," Joe had said, "like chains dragging from heaven to hell." Most folks laughed. Ray didn't. Not anymore. He grabbed his spotlight, sweeping it over the water. Just fog. Thick, white, endless. But then, a flicker, like something glowed beneath the surface, maybe 20 feet off the bow. It swayed, slow and steady, as if hung from a ship drifting below. Ray's heart thumped once. Hard. Lantern beneath the sea, he eased the throttle back, listening. Then, clear as anything, he heard it laughter. Low, raspy, and wrong. Ray froze. The light under the water grew brighter, flickering with rhythm, and rising. The waves began to churn. Then, with a hiss like steam, a shape broke the surface. It wasn't a modern boat. The hull was blackened wood, barnacle-bitten, dripping with rot. Torn sails hung like shrouds. At its bow stood a shadowed figure, tall, broad, with what looked like smoke curling from his beard. Ray dropped his light. It clattered to the deck. The figure's eyes burned gold through the fog. The sea remembers later. They'd find the Sea Mercy drifting near Ocracoke, engine running, lights dead. No Ray Dobson. The Coast Guard wrote it up as another accident. A man lost to fog and current. But the old-timers on the docks, the ones who remember old Joe, they didn't believe that. They said the sea was calling debts again. That every few years, when the tide and the moon meet just right, the deep starts to talk. Some call it superstition. Others call it a warning. Either way, when the fog rolls in off the banks and the water turns quiet, the locals don tea set sail. They just nod to the horizon and mutter the same line. The sea don't forget, and she don't forgive. Closing scene narration. Camera pans over the dark Atlantic, waves glowing faintly under the moon. Out here on the outer banks, the wind hums low like a ghost in the foam. Old boats groan, their ropes still creak, and the sea tells stories you don't dare to speak. Every man who sails here leaves a piece of himself behind. That's why they say we're Outer Banks born, and we believe in the tales from the deep. Do you believe these tales? Thanks for watching. A Jeff Bulla film presented by Reel OBX Pro Productions, where legends never sleep.